I planned the perfect proposal, but she showed up dressed like a mechanic. And now I'm wondering if I just made the biggest mistake of my life. Okay, so I am 29, have been dating this girl. Let's call her Anna, F 27, for about a year now. And honestly, things have been good, great, even mostly. The sex is like seriously 10-10, no notes. And we can talk for hours about shows, books, music, all that stuff. But, and it's a big but, politics, that's a no go. She's super intense about her opinions, and I've learned the hard way not to touch certain topics or it becomes a whole thing. Like one wrong comment about recycling, and suddenly I'm the villain destroying the earth personally. So, yeah, some of it makes me feel kind of exhausted, but also relationships are about compromise, right? Anyway, I've been thinking lately about us moving in together. She lives in one state over, not too far, but far enough that it's annoying. I figured if we're going to make this a thing long term, maybe it's time we take the next step. And honestly, I want to propose, like before moving in, just to make sure we're on the same page. Is that dumb? I decay. Felt like a nice gesture. Plus, I've got this romantic streak in me, okay? Judge away. So I planned the perfect proposal, at least it was supposed to be. There's this spot we hiked on our second date. Yes, second date hiking, don't ask. It's at the top of this ridge and it overlooks this gorgeous valley with a river winding through it. Perfect place to propose, right? Like, it'll hit all those Instagram worthy vibes she's into. I even hired a photographer to hide in the trees and take candid shots of me proposing. Figured it'd be cool to capture the moment without her knowing. Surprise and all that. I also booked us a fancy dinner at this restaurant nearby for after. Look, I was going all in, okay? Here's where things started to uh, go sideways. I casually suggested that she wear something nice for the hike, like nothing crazy. I just said, hey, what if you wore that cute summer dress you have? You'd look amazing in the pics. Thought I was being helpful, right? Wrong. She got so mad, like immediately angry. Her face did that thing where she tilts her head and goes, are you actually telling me what to wear? And I was like, no, no, I'm just saying you always look great in that dress. But nope. She went full on. How dare you? I dress for me, not for your patriarchal expectations. And I was sitting there like, holy shh, what just happened? I swear I didn't even mean it like that. It was just a suggestion. But once she was on that train, there was no stopping it. So fast forward to the day of the hike. She shows up in, I kid you not, cargo pants and this oversized shirt with a giant logo on it. Like, I'm talking early 2000s gym teacher vibes. And listen, I'm all for people dressing how they want, but come on. This was supposed to be a romantic moment, a proposal. You don't show up dressed like you're about to go change someone's tires. I tried to keep my cool. The hike itself was fine, mostly us making small talk while I kept sneaking glances at the photographer to make sure everything was in place. We get to the top, and it's just as beautiful as I remembered. The sun is shining, the valley is glowing, and I'm standing there thinking, okay, this is it. This is the moment. I get down on one knee, and as I do, I hear the snap snap of the camera in the distance. Everything's going according to plan, except, of course, for the fact that she looks like she's dressed for a construction site. I pull out the ring, give my little speech, which I nailed, by the way. Thank you very much. And she actually says, yes. Yay, right? Well, kind of. She said yes, but not in a, oh my God, I'm so happy kind of way. More like a, yeah, okay, this is happening vibe. And those photos, yeah, they're awful. I'm down on one knee, looking all emotional and romantic. And she's standing there with her hands on her hips in her baggy cargo pants, squinting into the sun like she's trying to remember if she locked her car. Afterwards, the photographer showed me a few of the shots and I wanted to cry. They looked terrible. Like imagine a Sears family portrait, but outdoors, and way worse. One picture had her wiping sweat off her forehead, and another had me looking up at her while she was mid-eye roll. Literal nightmare fuel. I sent one to my friend, and he texted back, bro, is she mad or is she allergic to happiness? Not the feedback I was hoping for. We went to dinner after, and the whole night just felt off. She didn't seem that excited about the proposal, and I couldn't stop thinking about those damn photos. I tried to laugh it off, but deep down, it kind of stung. Like, I put so much effort into making this a special moment, and it felt like she just didn't care. IDK, maybe I'm overreacting. But it really sucked. Now I'm sitting here, ring on her finger, wondering what the hell I just signed up for. Is this what the rest of my life is going to be like? Am I going to have to tiptoe around every suggestion I make? Anyway, that's part one, I guess. Proposing was supposed to make things clearer, but now I feel more confused than ever. Maybe I'm just being dramatic, or maybe I missed some major red flags along the way. TLDR, I proposed to my GF on a hike. She showed up dressed like an off duty mechanic, and the photos are a disaster. Now I'm wondering if I made a huge mistake. Update. So, yeah, things went from awkward to full blown nightmare real fast. After the proposal, the vibe between us was weird. Like, normally we don't text or call a ton during the week. It's just kind of our thing. But after, you'd think there'd be some excitement, right? Like, we just got engaged, except nothing. Just the same half hearted, hey, how's it going texts here and there, which felt super off considering, I just proposed to her. The whole thing kept gnawing at me. Usually I drive to see her on the weekends, but this time I couldn't wait. All I could think about was how badly the proposal went, how distant she seemed, and whether I'd completely misread everything. So I took Friday off work, figured I'd surprise her with something nice. Like maybe the problem was the whole awkward proposal thing, and if I did something sweet, it'd reset the vibe or whatever. Classic romantic idiot brain, right? Anyway, I get to her place around noon. She's still at work, so I let myself in with the spare key she gave me a while back. I figured I'd clean up a bit, make dinner, and just have it ready for when she got home. Maybe we could finally talk and make things feel normal again. I cleaned the whole place, like deep clean. Vacuumed, wiped down the counters, even cleaned the microwave, which looked like it had been storing food from the pre pandemic era. Then I went all out on dinner: steak, roasted veggies, mashed potatoes. I even got a bottle of wine that I knew she liked. Honestly, it felt kind of good doing something nice for her. I was thinking, this is what couples do, right? We hit a rough patch and I step up to make things better. She was supposed to be off work at 6, so I figured she'd be home by 6:30. But then 7 rolled around. Nothing. No texts, no calls. At first, I wasn't worried. Maybe she ran into traffic or had to stay late or something. But by 8, I started to feel kind of weird about it. Like she always lets me know if she's going to be late. By now, I was in full WTF is going on mode, pacing the apartment like a maniac. Finally, at 10 p.m., the door swings open and she stumbles in with some other guy, uh, and not just casually chatting or anything. They're full on making out, barely keeping their balance. Her shirt's half untucked, his belt is halfway undone. It was like a bad movie scene, except I was in it, standing there like idiot in her living room with a perfectly cooked steak sitting on the table. The second she saw me, she stopped dead, just kind of blinked at me all glassy-eyed and slurred, "What are you doing here?" Like I'm the one out of place. The other guy just stood there awkwardly like, I think I'll just go." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe you should, buddy." Once he left, it was just me and her, and the silence was loud. I couldn't even process what the hell I just walked into. Eventually, I asked her, "What the fuck was that? Are you serious right now?" And of course, instead of any sort of apology or explanation, she flips it right back on me. She starts yelling about how hard it's been doing long distance and how unfair it is to expect her to be all in when we're not even living together yet. I was standing there trying to wrap my head around the fact that she was cheating and she's yelling about logistics. Then, somewhere in the middle of all the yelling, she threw in the line that really killed me. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "And this ring? This cheap ass ring? You really thought I'd say yes to this?" I swear, my heart dropped into my stomach. I'd saved for months to get that ring. It wasn't flashy, but it was nice, thoughtful, something I knew she'd like. At least, I thought I knew. Turns out she'd been silently judging it the whole time. And then she said the thing that really sealed the deal: "I don't even want to marry you." Boom. There it was. No sugarcoating, no excuses, just the cold, hard truth laid out in the most brutal way possible. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. I just stood there, stunned, while she kept ranting about how I pushed her into a proposal she didn't even want and how I'm too far away for it to ever work. And you know what? I didn't even yell back. I just stood there. nodding, trying to absorb the fact that everything I thought we had was basically a lie. So, yeah, that's where I'm at now. Engaged for exactly 1 week, only to find out she's been cheating and doesn't even want to marry me. I feel like the dumbest person alive. TLDR, took the day off to surprise my fiance with dinner, only to catch her stumbling and drunk with another guy. When I confronted her, she screamed about long distance, called the ring cheap, and said she doesn't even want to marry me. Cool, cool, cool. Update 2. Hey everyone, it's been a little over 6 months since my last post. I needed some time to myself, off Reddit, off social media, just off everything, really. But I figured it was time for an update. I'm doing a lot better now, in case anyone was wondering. It was rough for a while, but I've got a great group of friends who really had my back through all of it. I think I forgot how important it is to have that kind of support. After everything went down, I decided to focus on the things I love, but had kind of let slide during the relationship. I got back into hiking, which honestly saved my sanity. I've been going on solo hikes, group hikes, just spending time in nature, clearing my head. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started doing it again. Same with hanging out with my friends. I guess when I was with her, I kind of put a lot of that stuff on hold without even noticing. But now, I'm back at it, and it feels good. Of course, she tried to come back. I guess people always do, right? She called a few times, left some weird texts. The kicker was when she actually showed up at my place one night out of nowhere, said she wanted to talk, that she missed me, blah, blah, blah. But I was done. I handed her back the key and told her it was time to move on, for both of us. No drama, no yelling, just done. Feels weird saying it, but it was probably the first time in a long time that I felt truly in control of my own life again. On the bright side, things at work have been looking up too. I recently got a promotion that I'd been gunning for. It's been a huge confidence boost after everything that happened. It's like life is slowly falling back into place, piece by piece. As for dating, not really thinking about it right now. I need more time to just enjoy where I'm at without rushing into anything. But eventually, yeah, I think I'll get back out there. Just not today. And that's okay. Anyway, thanks for reading and for all the support. It's been a wild ride, but I'm starting to feel like myself again. And that's more than enough for now. Here's to better days ahead. TLDR, took some time off after everything went down. Doing better now. Back to hiking, spending time with friends, got a promotion at work, cut off all contact with my ex, gave her back the key, and moving on. Not rushing into dating, but life's looking up.